There is a unique form of power that requires no force, a shield built not from what you say, but from what you choose to withhold. For years, I chased the wrong definition of strength. I believed it meant winning debates, proving my point, and never letting a slight go unanswered. I was a fortress with open gates, convinced that my volume and verbosity were my weapons, but I was simply giving away all my leverage. Then I uncovered a different path, one carved by an ancient philosophy that teaches true influence starts with inner silence. This isn't about being cold or detached. It's about cultivating a psychological armor so refined, it renders manipulation utterly futile. Today we explore the 7 quiet disciplines of those who remain unshakably grounded. See how many you already recognize quietly operating within you. The Stoics, thinkers like Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, and Seneca, didn't preach about controlling others. They mastered the art of self-command. Seneca wrote that our peace cannot be taken, only surrendered. Aurelius meditated on the fortress of the mind. Epictetus drew the line between what is ours to govern and what is not. The emotionally resilient people you observe move through chaos with a steady gaze, because they live these principles intuitively. They aren't swayed by drama. I had to learn this through exhaustion. My need to be understood, to correct every misperception, was a chain I had crafted myself. It was a profound insecurity masquerading as conviction. The turning point came when I stopped performing for an audience of critics and started building my inner citadel. Discipline 1. They are masters of strategic listening. This goes beyond hearing words. It is the art of perceiving the landscape beneath the conversation, the pauses, the shifts in energy, the unspoken motives. A person seeking to influence you often desires your speech, because each sentence can be a clue to your pressure points. But the grounded individual inverts this. They listen to comprehend, not to prepare a rebuttal. I recall a dynamic where someone would offer sympathy, only to later use my disclosed worries against me. My openness was my vulnerability. The shift occurred when I chose to simply absorb, to offer no personal data in return. My quiet attention became a mirror, and in its reflection their true intent became unmistakable. When you regulate what you reveal, you remove the levers others hope to pull. How much of your inner world have you offered up simply because you felt compelled to fill the silence? Discipline 2. They abandon the compulsion to explain. Few things disarm a manipulative tactic faster than refusing to play the justification game. Those who twist narratives feed on your need to set the record straight. They thrive on the debate itself. But a person anchored in their own truth recognizes a liberating fact. No explanation will satisfy someone committed to misunderstanding you. I once believed my dignity depended on universal clarity. I'd draft mental essays to correct a minor slight. The breakthrough was the weary realization that my lengthy clarifications only gave the issue more life, more power over my minutes and hours. So I stopped. I released the need to control another's perception, and in that release, the false narrative starved of my energy simply crumbled. Your integrity needs no defense. It stands on its own. This practice of non-engagement directly fuels the third, even more potent discipline. Discipline 3. Their composure is non-negotiable. Provocation is a tool. Its purpose is to trigger an emotional eruption, anger, panic, defensiveness, that can then be used as evidence against you. The emotionally robust see the trap laid before them, their response, to not supply the reaction being sought. Your calm in the face of engineered chaos isn't passivity, it is a powerful negation. I remember being baited in a public setting, the classic setup for a dramatic reaction. Instead, I anchored into my breath. My reply was measured, tone steady, devoid of heat. The agitator's frustration was palpable, not because of my words, but because I denied them the spectacle they required. In that moment, my serenity was the ultimate power move. Aurelius was right. Our dominion is internal. Protect it. Discipline 4. They attract, they do not chase. A core tactic of control is the manufacturing of scarcity, withdrawing attention, warmth, or approval to induce pursuit. The unmanipulable see this game for what it is and decline to participate. They understand that any connection demanding their desperation is itself a form of bondage. I learned this through repeated imbalance, always striving to reignite a fading spark from my side alone. The empowering shift came when I redirected that energy inward. I began to evaluate who remained present without my prompts, who valued my authenticity without my performance. You cease to be a player in a game you no longer acknowledge. Your focus shifts to patterns, which is the heart of the 5th discipline. Discipline 5. They trust behavior, not words. Eloquence in apology means little without alteration in action. Promises are sound. Consistent conduct is substance. Those with inner strength are not cynics, but they are brilliant observers of repetition. They've learned that a person's true character is revealed in the cycle of their behavior, not in the poetry of their excuses. I once accepted beautiful apologies for the same wound, again and again, hoping the words would finally manifest into change. Now I hold space for hope, but I make my decisions based on the evidence of what is done, not what is said. Patterns are the most honest storytellers. Your peace is a currency. Spend it only where there is return. Discipline 6. They guard their inner energy as sacred capital. Every interaction, every environment has a psychic cost. People who cannot be swayed are meticulous accountants of their soul's resources. They say no as a complete sentence. They exit draining situations without fanfare. They choose their inner sanctum over the noise of external validation. For too long I said yes to what depleted me, to obligations that weren't mine, to conversations that left me feeling heavy. I was running on empty, trying to be a sanctuary for everyone while my own spirit was in ruins. Applying the Stoic principle of focusing only on what is within my control, I began to set boundaries. The result wasn't isolation, it was a profound resurgence of clarity and vitality. This protective practice culminates in the final, most profound discipline. Discipline 7. They wield the power of intentional silence. Silence is not emptiness, it is a response of supreme intention. When you withdraw your emotional participation, you remove the fuel from any attempt to control you. Silence creates a space where unmasked truths inevitably surface. I reached a point in a toxic dynamic where every word was weaponized. My attempts to fix things only entangled me further. The moment of liberation came when I consciously chose stillness. I ceased reacting, explaining, or feeding the cycle. In the void I created, the other person's intentions became transparent without any effort on my part. My silence was not a weakness, it was the blade that cut the knot. The deepest strength is often the quietest. Ultimately, this isn't about controlling anyone else. It is the ultimate act of self-possession. Your power lies not in your reaction, but in your sovereign choice of what is worthy of it. As you nurture these quiet disciplines, you build a life anchored from within, impervious to the storms engineered by others. You become unmanipulable because you are finally unshakably your own. If this resonated with you, I ask you to show some support. It truly helps this channel grow. Please like this video and subscribe to Mindshift Philosophy. For more tools to build your inner fortress, let me know your biggest takeaway in the comments below.